Okay, it's official. This place is a zoo. Good afternoon, or whatever the hell time it is. I guess we're here today to find out what the hell I'm up to. I'm done. Thank you. Good night. And then we'll hear a little bit from you, all of your burning questions like, will there be Ash versus Jason versus Freddy? Or Evil Dead 4, or the Evil Dead remake. We'll go through all the burning questions. But first, I have no idea what's first. I'm just here today. Where are the questions coming from, just out of curiosity? Is there where are the official, oh yeah. Where, over there somewhere, I see. Okay, fine, excellent. Well, I guess I'll start with this. July 29th is a wonderful Disney film called Sky High. I'm very sorry, but there's no blood in it anywhere. Yeah, boo, I hear it, I love that. Boo. And so, I'm sure you've seen it 400 times, but Disney, in their graciousness, has given me a clip to bring along to share with you. Without further ado, let's go ahead and just show that clip. Sky High. Wasn't that exciting? More? Or bored? I wrote a new book. I want to thank you because of some of you out there. The book has now got up to number 20 on the New York Times bestseller list. So, I want to thank you very much for that, and I'm going to tantalize you with an audio clip from the audio book that is due later this summer. So I want you to close your eyes. I'm not kidding, there's nothing to see. Just listen for your pseudo-enjoyment. A clip, and I guess I'll preface it. I get in trouble. It's a book where basically the idea, it's a novel. I play myself in the book. And it's about what would happen if a B movie actor tries to get into an A movie. And the answer is it's not very good. It's ugly. So this is an example of how I get in trouble in various ways along my strange journey in this book. So it's a little clip. We decided not to do a regular he said, she said sort of audio book because I found that you folks demand something weirder and different and more complete and more involved. So we decided to do a 6-hour unabridged 6-CD version of the book that will be available because you'd be pissed off if we gave you something different. So we don't want that, do we? So without further ado, please close your eyes and listen for a few minutes to an audio clip from Make Love the Bruce Campbell Way. Go to questions. We'll answer a bunch of your burning questions after we play this next clip. It's from the new THQ video game coming out this fall, which I would call it the next sequel to Evil Dead, because the technology gets better and better, so it actually is more and more like a movie. So there's some new changes in the new version coming out, newer ragdoll technology, which is really going to make it more of a pleasure to play. My son claims, he's 17, he claims that this is the best version. He was not thrilled with the first game. He thought, I've heard a lot of complaints about. The second game was pretty good, but this one, and of course you'll be the judge of that. So we'll play a couple of clips from THQ, the Evil Dead, what is it, Regeneration? Yeah, something like that, yeah. That looks okay. Well, now, let's do this. Are our lights up where they're going to be? Good. Now we can see everybody. All right, let's get to some questions. Those of you who have a question, just stand up. Raise your hand. I'll pick you, stand up, and ask your question as loud as you can, and we'll try and work something out. Yes, right there.
Apocalypse coming out on DVD?
Is Alien Apocalypse coming out on DVD? Why? Because it was so good? Are you saying that to be a smartass, or do you really care? Yeah, he cares. He cares a lot. Yes, right there. Do I prefer video games or the movies? Which do I prefer? Which do I prefer working on? Okay, I got it. I got the gist of it. They're completely different, as you can imagine. Movies are more difficult physically because you're always, sweaty or hot or covered with blood or something like that. Video games are much more controlled. You're in a nice, comfortable, air-conditioned studio when you do it, but the scripts to video games are about that thick because you have to allow for what a gamer will do. Like if they just want to stand at a window and go click, 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 click. Eventually you'll hear me say, there's nothing there. So we have to record things that would allow for stupid behavior on part of the gamer. So what I recommend is get the game, play it, try and beat it, and then go back and act like a jerk and see what happens. Yes, right here.
I was wondering if anyone would object to me possibly taking your name tag home as a souvenir.
Would anyone object to you taking my name tag home as a souvenir? We have some objections here. I'm sorry, sir. Please sit down. Oh, what the hell? Come on. I'll probably need that later. Someone's going to yell at me. Yes. Someone going like this, right back there. Is Briscoe coming out on DVD? I am an actor. They don't tell you shit. You will know before I will, most likely. Yes, right over here. When is Make Love to Bruce Campbell coming out on paperback as opposed to the hardcover that's out now? Why, you cheap bastard? Buy the hardcover. Don't give me your sob story. How much did you pay to get into here? You bought all 7 versions of Army of Darkness, didn't you? I see. You'll have to wait a year for the cheap-ass version of the book. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes, right over here. Is Jack of all trades coming out on DVD? Why? Because it was so successful, you mean? I am an actor. They don't tell me shit. Yes, over here. Some of the actors who inspired me, I like Bob Hope before he started looking at cue cards all the time. Yes. Is my travel book, you're referring to a book that I referred to in Make Love to Bruce Campbell Way. Sir, I hate to tell you this, but the book is a novel, it's not real. It didn't register, he was just kind of going, oh. Yes, over here. Boxers or briefs? Meet me in the parking lot and I'll show you. Yes, over here. What's up with Bubba Nosferatu? You're referring to the sequel, of course, to Bubba Hotep, the proposed sequel that is so brazenly advertised at the end of Bubba Hotep. MGM, who distributed the DVD, is interested, but they just got purchased by Sam Raimi's company, Sony. And when that happens, there's about a year of trying to figure out whose desk is whose. So all deals kind of get put on hold. Yes, right here. How do I make love the Bruce Campbell way? Why don't you and the boxer brief lady get together? Let's go to 2. What's the second part of your question?
Say hi to Linda who's inside here.
Can I say hi to Linda, who's inside there? Hello, Linda. Boy, that was a waste of about 45 seconds there. Yeah. Have I read the Army of Darkness comic, and what do I think of it? I read the Dark Horse version. The new version, we weren't really approached, to tell you the truth. Well, it's kind of the reality of what's going on. You know, when you get involved in a movie and different companies make it, they tend to own everything. And so they just put it out. I think the art is very good. I've signed 1,000 covers of the 48 different versions of that. So it seems like they're keeping in the spirit of it. So I would never want to make fun of the artwork or anything like that, because I think it's all good. It's all very good. But I haven't really read it. I mean, I know how... I've sort of been there. I know how it goes. Yes, I did. Did I enjoy Bulgaria? You're referring to the place where I filmed the new film Man with a Screaming Brain. That'll be showing this Saturday night, by the way. Where? Tom Banbard, where?
Plug it. We're going to get a ticket.
Come to the Anchor Bay booth and they'll tell you.
Where?
But it's here in town. It's showing Saturday night at 10 o'clock and midnight. So, no, it's not going to be showing there, unfortunately. So getting back to the lovely country of Bulgaria. Has anyone been to Bulgaria? Why did you go to Bulgaria? You were forced to do what? I was forced to make a movie there. That's where the Sci-Fi Channel makes their movies now, Bulgaria, Romania, because they're so qualified to make movies there. The average Bulgarian makes $110 a month. That's kind of the answer to why we made it there. I particularly enjoyed the packs of wild dogs that roamed the streets. I had a big bag of dry dog food that I carried in my van, and every morning I had to cross a parking lot to get to the production office that looked like it was a bomb shelter, and the wild dogs sometimes wouldn't let you cross, so you had to give them an offering. So I pour a big bag of dog food out there, and they would they'd gather around and eat it, and then afterward they give you a look of like, you're lucky. And then they let me go to work, because they were temporarily satisfied. So that's why I rewrote the film to take place in Bulgaria, because let's get back to Alien Apocalypse briefly. You'll notice in the movie, those of you who saw it, and by the way, thank you for watching it, because it became Sci-Fi Channel's #1 sci-fi movie in the history of their channel. But in Alien Apocalypse, it takes place in Portland. But all of the actors are talking like this. So they had to revoice all of the actors. And then they sounded like that. They sounded like they were looped. And I didn't think that was a good idea, particularly since my story took place in East LA. So I asked the Sci-Fi Channel who my Latinos would be. The gypsies, who have no written language and don't speak English. So they relented, and I was able to rewrite it for Bulgaria, because as an independent filmmaker, you kind of have to tap dance as fast as you can. So it's a very strange movie for a lot of reasons, and being set in Bulgaria just makes it even weirder. Yes?
Have you been successful in finally destroying Sam Raimi's car?
Have I been successful in finally destroying Sam Raimi's 1973 Delta 88? It's his self-titled name, The Classic, that has been in every Sam Raimi movie he's ever done since high school. And I vowed to destroy it because it annoys me so much. It's now being held in an undisclosed location with Dick Cheney, and that thing has been in every movie, including Quick and the Dead, which is a Western. Sam had it stripped down and a wagon built on top of it. Welcome to Sam Raimi. No, I've not been able to destroy it. I have my foot soldiers out looking for it presently. Yes, right here. Did I do what to who? Is my book for sale? Yes, it'll be for sale. I think I'm signing tomorrow and Saturday, so check your local listings. Wherever they put up the information. You can go to my website, bruce-campbell.com. No, actually, it might not even be there. Check here for where I'm going to be. If you don't put the hyphen in, you get a Dodge dealership in Michigan. Yes. Will I be in Spider-Man 3? Well, let's do a quick recap, shall we? In the first one, as you recall, I named the character. This billion-dollar franchise would have been called the Human Spider if it wasn't for me. And in the second one, I believe I was the only character who's ever defeated Spider-Man. I guess I'll have to be Spider-Man in the third one. Yeah, I'm going to be in it, but they won't tell me. It's too secret. I'm sure I will annoy Spider-Man in some way. Yes?
What movie offers have you been made that you were happy you turned down, and
What movie offers was I glad I turned down? Which ones were I sad I turned down? None, no, and no. I make a decision based on what I thought sucked at the time, and I stand by it. However, there are several things that look good on paper that you find out later that they suck. Like Congo, for example. Because on paper, you have a Michael Crichton book, adapted by John Patrick Shanley, who won an Academy Award for Moonstruck, edited by Anne V. Coates, who edited Lawrence of Arabia. You've maybe heard of that little film. Shot by Alan Davio, who shot E.T. You have Steven Spielberg's producers. So look good on paper to me, and then there you go, you get Congo out of that. Go figure. Yes. Who would win in a fight between me and Sam Raimi? He would be driving his car, so he would probably win. Yes. Am I planning on directing anything else? Are you planning on buying anything else? Are you planning on buying Man with a Screaming Brain when it comes out through Anchor Bay in October? Okay. Because I think I should inform you about something. In my little sphere, creative decisions are made by economic reality. I'm embarrassed to say that Man with a Screaming Brain took 19 years to make. The original idea was given to my partner David Goodman in a rowboat in 1986. So one of the DVD extras is actually we take a chalkboard and we trace out the 80s, the 90s, and the new millennium of where we took the movie to get the money. After you see it, you realize why it took 19 years to make, I'm sure. Yes? How is it working with Renee O'Connor again on Alien Apocalypse? Well, she couldn't get enough of kissing me the first time around in Xenon. She wanted some more sugar, I guess. I don't know. It was fine. She was just getting back to work. She had a kid. She was ready. She was ready to get at it. And my friend Josh Becker, who directed Alien Apocalypse, we had both worked with her on Xenon. And we knew that she was an absolute professional, really good at what she did, and not crazy. Because we were in Bulgaria. We wanted to surround ourselves with as many non-crazy people as we could. You're welcome. Yes? What's my favorite movie of all time? We mentioned Bridge on the River Kwai earlier. That's my favorite movie. Because it was not written for 17-year-olds. It has a thing called, what is it? Oh, a score. And it has William Holden, my favorite actor, who could kick Ben Affleck's ass any day of the week. Yes, over here. Evil Dead 4 or Phantasm 5? What are the chances? Well, I'm only hesitating because I've never heard that question before. You'll have to, first of all, convince Sam Raimi not to make Spider-Man 3 instead. That's going to be a tough choice, let me tell you. Should I make $1 billion or like $100? Phantasm 5, you'll have to talk to someone who has anything to do with that series. How the hell would I know? Yes. My new book is a novel, but I alluded it to being autobiographical. It's a mockumentary in book form, with lots of pictures for those of you who are challenged in that department. It's fake, but I have to say I can point to about 70% of it that's true. I just changed the names, to protect the guilty. Yes. Yes. Did I grow my own mustache for Man with a Screaming Brain? Why? Did it look fake to you? You must have noticed something weird or you wouldn't have asked the question. Yes, I grew it a lot for Xena. I can grow one in about 2 weeks, so yes, I grew it between the excellent Alien Apocalypse and Man with a Screaming Brain. Yes. In your as yet unsigned book, yes. Who ended up with Lester Shankwater's pen? Probably the TSA, but I don't recall. I'll have to check my own book and see. I only wrote it, yes. What's my favorite project? Well, I'm not done yet, so I don't really have a final list. On the old actors' home, I can answer that one. What's your favorite? You're the paying customer. Evil Dead 2. You like slapstick. You like a little horror, a little comedy. You're not a gorehound like the first Evil Dead, or the silliness of Army of Darkness. Which I love the fact Army of Darkness, when we submitted it to the ratings board, got an NC-17. Boy, those talking skeletons are so scary, aren't they? You lop off their head and dust comes out. NC-17. Goodfellas in the opening 5 minutes. They have a guy tied against his will in a trunk who's not dead yet, so they've already tried to kill him. It didn't work, so they pull over. He's still bound. Joe Pesci takes a knife, stabs him about 12 times while he's swearing at him. Hey, you fucking guy, you fucking guy. And that's an R rating. The MPAA can kiss my ass so hard it would come out the other side. Board or don't have a ratings board. Don't have a bogus ass ratings board. It's stupid. It's embarrassing. Yes. What's that? In Sky High, what are my superpowers? He has a sonic booming voice. That's why you'll see shockwaves occasionally coming, digital shockwaves coming from my mouth. So, sorry, that's the best I could do. Yes. Stand up and speak louder, sir. Do I prefer Halo or Killzone? You're assuming that I'm a gamer. I say the words, I don't play the game. Sorry, man. What? Yes. Tell us about working with Ozzie Davis on Bubba Hotep. Yeah. Well, he was, I think he was 83 when he got to us. He was probably he had the most poise of anyone I think I've ever met. He was really unflappable. His first movie was about 1945. He knew JFK. He was playing JFK, which is part of the joke of the movie. He was just a great guy. Nothing really, he was unflappable. The difficult thing with Ossie was getting the script to him because his agents would not show him the script. We submitted it, made an offer, here's when we're shooting, here's how much we want to pay you. No, we're not showing it to him. What is it, the cancer on the penis part? What is it, what's the matter? We're not showing it to him. I think they thought it was too cheeseball or whatever. So Don Coscarelli knew a director who knew Ossie Davis's home number, called him at home, arranged to get the script to him, and within a couple of days he said yes. So in Hollywood, movies are often made in spite of Hollywood. Yeah, over here. If you already have our book signed, so you're getting the like signing rules here? Is that what we're at? Yeah, if you've got a stinking book, I'll sign your stinking DVD. One of them. Yes, over here. Yeah, it's amazing. I point here and it comes up here. Go ahead, go for it. Knock yourself out.
I'm going to narrate the upcoming Ultimate Spider-Man game.
Well, I narrate the new Spider-Man game. Sure. Yeah, somewhere in the back there, sure. Whoever talks loudest, I guess, will win. Louder, sir, louder.
When are you going to play Freddy, Jason, Alien, Thunder, Batman?
Hey, go have another one in the parking lot, man. Sit down. Look, let's discuss this rationally for a second. Ash versus Freddy versus Jason. That's on the internet, so it must be true. So let's talk about it. We had a 5-minute conversation with New Line about it. And that 5-minute conversation will haunt me for the rest of my life because now it'll never go away. And the 5-minute conversation was this. What can we control? Only Ash. Okay. So 2/3 of the movie could suck and we have no control of it. That's right. So how would I know that I could kill Freddy or Jason? Because there'd be no reason to be in that unless Ash could kill both of their doughy asses. There's no guarantee of that. And when you make another Evil Dead movie, which would be like part 3.5, you expect to make some money, but we'd be splitting the pie with 2 other franchises who have invited us into their world. It's a bad idea. It's a bad idea. So we said no. That's why it was a 5-minute conversation. Plus, where does it take place? Sacramento? Where do these characters come from? What are the rules? There's 3 sets of universal rules of what's happening there, what monsters and how they die and how they live. So, it's a bad idea. Yes, further back. Wherever, go for it. Duke it out, you guys. All right, this man who's cupping his mouth, yes.
What's your next book project?
What's my next book project? As I alluded to earlier, creative decisions are based on economic reality. If this winds up on the plus side, I got plenty of ideas. If it doesn't, I'm done as a writer. Thank you very much. Yes. That I have any problems getting my hands on a Vespa from Man with a Screaming Brain? In Bulgaria, you're referring to. We did need a Vespa. This is what I refer to as the Bulgarian surprise. Every day, you never really knew what was going to happen. In prep, I talked to the transportation department. And I said, I need a Vespa, and I need to paint it pink, and I need to wreck it. Okay, done. A week later, it goes by. Hey, how's that Vespa coming? Do you have it yet? No. Are you working on it? Of course. Now remember, I got to paint it pink and wreck it, okay? Of course. Week later, how's the Vespa coming? We have the Vespa. Can I see a picture of it? Of course. Here's a picture of it. Good. It's a perfectly good Vespa. Now I can wreck it, right, and paint it pink. Of course. Okay, shooting time comes. I'm walking out of a set. Across the street is where another film unit is shooting the actual destruction of the Vespa. And I walk out, and all of a sudden my translator, her name is Asya, is crying her eyes out. And I said to the assistant director, why is Asya crying her eyes out? He goes, oh, because that's her Vespa. It was a gift from her father on her birthday. So I asked Asya to translate the word motherfucker. And I had a few words with the transportation department. But we got the Vespa all right. Yes. What's going on with the Evil Dead remake? The one starring Ashton Kutcher? What? Wouldn't you like to see him raped by a tree? It's not really determined yet what is going to happen with that thing. We owe a huge debt of gratitude to the Detroit investors, which is why we're even considering it in the first place. It's a group of private people in Detroit who got us into the film business, and we've appreciated that ever since. So we're considering a way, not necessarily with or without the Ash character, because look, there's no part for me in that thing anyway. What am I going to be, the old guy at the bait store? You kids be careful, that cabin's haunted, I heard. Shut up, old man, Ashton Kutcher says. So, it's a nebulous thing at this point. Yes, in the back. Was it like working with Joe Lansdale, who wrote Bubba Hotep? Joe, I think, is a great and fearless writer. And as a result, his stuff is very edgy, it's very twisted, it's very dark, and it's funnier than hell. So I think he exemplifies what a writer should be, is fearless and not derivative. When you read a Joe Lansdale story, you've not really read anything like it. That's why we wound up with a redemptive Elvis mummy picture. So, yes. Oh, wait, you're way out. You're way out. Yeah. The prospects for another TV show. Why? Because my first 2 TV shows did so well. I've tried it twice. Third time, the joke's on me, I think. No, I like being married also. TV shows suck, for your personal life. This isn't Hollywood. This is why all these movie stars bounce around from one movie star to the next. And Ben Affleck has been like with every chick in Hollywood, basically. It's not because they're so sexy or having great sex. It's because they suck at relationships because they're never home, ever. That's why. That's the reality. Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. I'm not surprised in the least that they got together on location. They were bored out of their skull. Hey, you're on location. I'm on location. Yes, over there, across the room. What do I think about Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes? Well, I can guarantee you I don't give a rat's ass about it. Yes, right there, Mr. Waving Arm. What do I think about the Comic-Con? I think it's amazing that they can manage so many people. I think it's all about like crowd management. I think it's great. It's a great place. Well, it's funny how it's grown. Now you see major studios here giving lots and lots of presentations. They didn't always give a rat's ass about the Comic-Con. The Comic-Con got really big and they went, hey, what about that Comic-Con in San Diego? 10 years ago, they were like, oh, that stupid Comic-Con. So it's funny how things change based on popularity. Yes?
When you make love the Bruce Campbell way, do they say hell with King Baby?
You, sir, are a moron. Yes, across the room over there. What's that? Where did I get this spiffy shirt? From Tommy Bahama. I've kept him in business for years. Yes?
Your Man with the Screaming Brain, didn't you make 2 versions of it, like TV?
Man with a Screaming Brain, did I make 2 versions of it?
Wasn't there a theatrical?
There's a theatrical version that is going to be screening on Saturday night. which is the original version. The Sci-Fi Channel version, which will air the last Sunday in September, is really the pseudo-watered-down version with no swearing. I love the fact that on television and with the Sci-Fi Channel, you can have all the violence you want. Absolutely no problem at all, but no sex and no swearing. So you can shoot a booby, but you can't kiss it. It's a strange world that we live in. Yes?
You already played Elvis. Is there anyone else famous you'd like to play?
Anyone else famous I'd like to play? Ashton Kutcher, I think I'd like to play. Yes?
In the previous panel, we were talking about casting the new Will Eisner, The Spirit film.
Casting the new Will Eisner, The Spirit film.
It's about 2 years off.
Has it occurred to you that you'd be perfect for it? Has it occurred to me that I'd be perfect for it? It hasn't occurred to me because I've never heard of it. Yes. What's my favorite book? I read only nonfiction. I live in a world of fiction, so I crave reality.
What's your favorite nonfiction book?
My favorite nonfiction book? Good Lord. I like a writer named Dayton Duncan, and I like a guy named Bill Bryson, because I think he's funnier than hell. That's about the best I can do, sorry. Yes?
What's been your most frustrating experience with Hollywood?
Most frustrating experience with Hollywood. I'm glad you asked that. This summer. Look at the newspaper. I wrote a few of them down. People make fun of B movies all the time, like Alien Apocalypse. Cheeseball scripts, cheeseball acting, the directors don't know as much, it's just not as polished, it's not as good. But let me tell you, B movies don't necessarily mean bad. B movies are really where it's at. And I'll tell you why. First of all, because every A movie is now a B movie. If you get bitten by a radioactive spider, that's a B movie. If you dress up like a bat and fly around Gotham City, that's a B movie. If aliens invade the Earth, that, folks, is a B movie. Tom Cruise can jump up and down on a couch. All he wants, he's in a B movie. Thank you. 5 minutes. Good, this will take exactly 5 minutes. War of the Worlds. That's an idea from 1898. Made in 1938 into a radio play. 1953 into a movie. Every 50 years they do something with that idea. That's not an original idea. Dukes of Hazzard. That's a shitty television show from the 70s. Yeah, let me run right out to see that. And you're not going to like this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Batman Begins? Who the hell are they kidding? Batman Begins again and again and again. And I've heard people defend it. Oh, but this was a good one. Took them 5 tries. They're on their 4th Batman. They don't care who wears the suit. They don't care who drives the car in Herbie the Love Bug. They've done so many of those, I've done a Herbie the Love Bug. Bewitched. From the 60s. Hollywood has a file drawer that's 30 years deep. They go, all right, time for the 70s. And they pull it out. The Longest Yard from the 70s. A remake from the 70s. What was wrong with that film? Absolutely nothing. The Honeymooners from the 50s. House of Wax. Guess Who? They redid the... You know, Nicole Kidman is on her 2nd remake. She went from Stepford Wives to Bewitched. What's next? You know, Get Christy Love, the movie? Hey, someone over here. Yeah, it's a good idea. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Now, Gene Wilder was funny. Johnny Depp is weird, folks. If I was a kid, I would run from that movie. Just a few examples of my frustration with Hollywood, because I have to say, I think they are creatively bankrupt. Flat out. Those of you who are under 30, you don't really share my sentiment, I'm sure, because you don't know how much you're being ripped off. if you do a little bit of research, you'll see that between May and August, basically, personally, I have no reason to see a movie. Because it's going to be something that I've seen 7 times before, spanning ages, decades, centuries sometimes. So I want to thank you in closing for supporting alternative stuff, because I know that a lot of people here are tired of going to the multiplexes. You like those revival houses. You like those cool calendar houses. You like places like in Austin where they have the Alamo Draft House where you can eat pizza and drink beer and watch movies. The nicest thing about touring this summer, I'm touring for the rest of the summer, about 44 cities total, with my book and with Man with the Screaming Brain. The greatest thing about it is I've rarely been in a multiplex. In each town, we found a really cool alternative theater, and some of these are beautiful. They have 600 seats and the velvet curtains, and young couples have taken them over and are revamping the sound system, and they're being supported. So I want to thank you for supporting them, because if you didn't, they would tear them down. It's just a piece of real estate at the end of the day. So you have a lot of economic power. I urge you to use your powers for good and not to support the same horse shit that you're getting out of Hollywood. Except for Sky High. So, anyway, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Do we want to try and move for Cronenberg?
Yeah.
Really?